just to hang out for a little bit. I'm watching my kids. They're playing in our backyard, and Brian, my husband, is currently at work. Um, so a regular question that we often get is like, why don't we include our kids, and do we spend any time with our kids? And I never thought I would need to answer this, but we don't include our kids in any of our content to protect their identities. They're young. We do adult content, clearly. Like, I'm not going to include my kids in that. That would be weird. And they need to live happy childhoods that don't involve being in their parents' videos. Plus, it gives us like a fun break from hanging out with kiddos and that kind of stuff. I have never done TikTok live or YouTube live like this, but if you have questions, feel free to ask. I don't even know if I can figure out a comment picture. Okay, hi Michael. I love your videos. Hope you two are doing great. Thank you. Brian's currently at a work conference, and I'm outside while my kids are playing in the backyard. So yeah, we're doing good. We're just normal, I guess. But if y'all have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. I'm just sort of hanging out and trying this. I haven't done the vertical live for YouTube before. I've only done one live for y'all before anyway, because usually I'm, taking care of family or we're trying to do videos for y'all. But the most common question I get is how we come up with the jokes. It really just depends per video, how many of the jokes that I specifically write. If Brian is leading it, I usually say whether or not I am writing the content for him or not. If it's like total dad stuff, it's him. You okay, baby? Okay. My three kiddos are on the playground. So the jokes just really depend on whether I write them or they're submitted. If they're submitted, I like them, I'm totally going to do them. If it's a themed video where all of the jokes are on something like football or Harry Potter, I end up writing the majority of those because there's not necessarily specific jokes that are for that. So it just kind of depends. Media, you and Brian's relationship. Oh, thanks. You only get to see what we let you see, but I had been in a very unhealthy relationship before. That's actually what I did before we started writing jokes and this kind of stuff. So I mean, Brian's my buddy, like, and I get to hang out with him and do these videos, which is really fun. Alina, I love that you both look so down to earth. Yeah, we look like real people. Like, we're just parents and just doing stuff. I do believe in keeping the dirty and the passion in a couple life. Absolutely, we totally agree. Love your husband's cringe reactions to your jokes. Oh, he blush. His blushing is literally my favorite. It's really the camera though. As soon as the camera comes out, I swear that he just starts blushing and turns bright red. So it's like a Pavlov's dog response, maybe. You're the prime example of what a real marriage should be. Aw, your love for each other shows even through the dirty jokes. You're both inspiring. Keep up the good work. We absolutely will. Yeah, I think the foundation of any good relationship is that y'all are really good friends. And I think Brian and I have a really good friendship. And we are both really good sports. And I think that's an attractive feature for both of us because not every partner would be totally cool with me sort of like constantly embarrassing him and making him turn bright red for the camera. So he's a great sport. Finally live stream. Yeah, I don't usually have a lot of time to do lives and stuff like that, but now that YouTube is doing this like vertical live feature, I thought I would check it out and see what y'all are seeing. Hi, I hope you guys are having a blessed good day. May I ask how long you two have been together? I'm glad you got through your toxic relationship and moved on to a healthy one. Rock on. Thank you. Brian and I we've been married 5 years and we've been together about 6. We actually got married pretty quickly after meeting each other. A little bit less than a year after we met each other, we got married. Before, he and I had both been previously married. Brian had been divorced about 10 or 11 years. His daughter, she's now almost 19. My 2 children were from a previous marriage. It took about a year for me to get divorced, but I had been with my twins' father for almost 10 years, and married maybe 6, 7, I think about 7. And so I'd been divorced about a year when I met Brian, and then we had our littlest together. But we both are, I think that's part of the reason why we do what we do is we both came from really sucky relationships. Brian's first relationship ended because of infidelity. My first marriage ended because of embezzlement and drug addiction. So, yeah. Media Warhead. I'm part of a Discord that has a channel for dad jokes and cheesy pickup lines. Thanks for your content. I can keep the train going. Great. Yeah, Brian's such a big fan of the dad jokes. He's always done them. And I've always done like more of the dirty, like shock humor. It's just too different. I feel like every relationship is like that. There's always like two sides of the same coin. I just think in our relationship, it's me being the dirtier one, which is not maybe as common or maybe not what you see as often. But well, it's good. Hey, from New Zealand, we get so many followers from like Australia and New Zealand. I'm glad, and tons of different followers from other places. So glad y'all are here. We're outside Memphis, Tennessee, in the United States. That's where we're from. How's your day going? I am full-time kiddos today. I have 3 kids playing on the playground. So it's pretty chill sort of day. It's the end of the summer for us. My wife and I love your content. Keep it up, guys. So funny. Oh, I'm so glad. I love when couples like our stuff. I think that's awesome. Oh, hi from Montreal. Glad that y'all are here. Yeah, if y'all have any questions or anything like that, feel free to put them in the content. It's just me today. Brian's at a work thing, and I've got my kiddos. As long as they're not killing each other, we will persevere. Cape Town, South Africa. Awesome. We love having fans from everywhere. It's awesome. And we've met a lot of y'all just going through the airport and going through town. We've met a lot of fans, which is super cool that when people come and chat with us. It's really the majority of people will approach Brian when he's by himself or me only when I'm with Brian. Come here, baby. Yeah. You want to come here? Yeah. You want to come here? Mama help? I see. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if any of y'all have kids, you understand. Y'all ain't far away from me and my family. We're east of Knoxville. Oh, that's cool, Glenn. Brian actually did his first year of undergrad at Knoxville, but then he transferred to the University of Memphis. That's where I got and then I got my master's degree there. Blessing to both of you too and the fam. Your videos have us. We're so glad. It's awesome. We're glad to. It's just fun. It's fun. Honestly, I feel like it's more fun for us maybe than it is for y'all. It's just we have a lot of fun making it, and that's why we keep doing it, just because it's really fun for us to do as a couple. And then it's awesome that y'all are liking it too. We'll keep doing it because it's an awesome break. It's cool to see the mom side of you. I'm glad. I it's just mom life. Queen of deep humor, as long as it's a throat. I mean, that's the kind of humor we're doing here. Currently working on my BS at Austin P. Oh, that's cool. I did my undergrad at Rhodes. After 2 years in Atlanta, I then transferred to Rhodes. So Brian and I are both been outside Memphis for many, many, many years. But yeah, glad that y'all are here. I got asked recently why we don't include our kids or do we never spend time with our kids. I feel like all we do is spend time with our kids. And we do adult content. And so I'm not going to include them. Plus, they're young and they don't really have a choice or a voice in whether they would appear or not. So we just we don't post pictures of them. We hide their face. We want them to have their own kind of lives and decide if they want to do this when they get older, maybe. My husband's daughter, my bonus daughter, she's 18 and going off to college. She will not talk. She knows what we do. She does not want to talk to us about it, which is fine. I totally get it. It's gross that you're dad and stepmom are doing this kind of stuff. And we're not going to push it on her. We've talked to her about, well, we can include you in some videos and like help you build your own kind of platform. And she's just not, that's just not her personality, and that's okay. And she's not going to talk to us about it, which is totally fine. Yeah, she's my bonus daughter. She's Brian's daughter from a previous marriage. I hate the word stepdaughter because it kind of just sounds like there's no connection there or anything like that. She's my bonus daughter. I treat her like she's one of my own, and I've got three other ones. It's a bold decision for your kids. I do think it's good to keep certain aspects of your life private. Yeah, and it's honestly, it's just I do parenting every day of my life, and so the idea of then filming a bunch of videos about it and then like trying to make my kids participate sounds like another layer of hell that I'm not interested in. uh tell your wife that one. Oh, she does talk to you both, right? Our bonus daughter, yeah, she talks to us. Right now she's getting ready to go to college, so but yeah, but she does not talk to us about our content, and we totally like we've talked to her about it. We're like, hey, do you know that we're doing this? And she's like, yeah, I've seen the videos, they've popped up on my For You page. And we're like, what do you think about that? And she's like, I don't want to talk about it. And I totally get that. It's totally fine. um yeah, 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 it's a funny world we live in. But yeah, in terms of our kids, it's just like, if we did maybe less racy stuff, maybe we might consider them. My son really wants to start like a YouTube channel for himself because he likes gaming and Legos and stuff like that. And we might see about letting him do that for himself, but we would never post him on ours. So we'll see. You know, it's kind of their stuff. You know, I yeah, we'd rather do the adult side. It's a little bit more fun for us, honestly. But we've posted some like reality versus expectations when it comes to family stuff because it's honestly hysterical. Like our most recent vacation, we went to Florida, and the ongoing fight between our three youngest were who could push the elevator button. Any jokes that you two have done that kept you laughing all day? Um, that's a good question. A joke that's kept us laughing all day. Uh, with Brian and I have one of my daughters is hanging out right here, so I can't share. Anyway, Brian and I, like, we have a lot of inside jokes. Like there was a period of time where before he would get on a work call or something like that, I would tell him he had sleep in his eye, so he like could pull it out of his eye before he got in a Zoom call. And I was doing it to be like sweet and nice, like, hey, like, you probably want to fix this on your face so it doesn't look like you just woke up and rolled out of bed to get into your Zoom call meeting. And then that became an ongoing thing, like, you have sleep in your eye. Like, we would just always say it back to one another to kind of like point out when the other was being critical. But I came across you and Brian like a month or two ago. My wife and I watched you. Wow, thank you. Don't stop the racy stuff. You're both hilarious. Yeah, like we definitely don't plan on doing that. Greetings from Poland. You guys are great. Love your sense of humor. Glad you're here. I was in Poland a few years ago. My family is Polish. We did I'll go and see my family when I can. Everyone here loves the channel and this spicy humor. Great. We'll actually be in Las Vegas, I think next November. Not for like, just Brian has a work conference that I will be attending with him. It's not like we have a residency or anything like that. I've been requested that we do a residency or things like that, or stand up. I don't know if that's in. I don't know if that's in our future. I would love to write for a comedy show or something like that, because probably my favorite part is just sort of writing the jokes and planning them and like planning the delivery kind of thing. I would love to do stand up. I don't know how we would do it with three young kids that And I don't want to miss out on that part of my children's lives. Like they're young, they still like to hang out with me. Maybe when they're older and they like don't want to hang out with me anymore, it would be a good time. How much fun is it to reenact the book talk tropes? Those make me laugh to bits, and my reader friend always breaks since she loves those tropes. I love them because I've read so many of those books, and so I know how cringy and awful that they are. Brian, like, did not like. I was reading him some lines, and he was like, "These are horrible." So I don't think he has the same context that I do, but those are hysterical for me to do. Yeah, we should probably do more. But part of the thing too is it's our content is kind of me always being the horrifying one. And so when Brian does it, it doesn't, I don't think it lands the same way, but to me, I still find it hysterical. Hey, baby, you just hanging out? Did you do your list that you wanted to do? You added it? Hmm. Okay. It would be hilarious for you to open for Celine Dion in Las Vegas. I don't think Celine Dion would approve of our content. Um, I know content is content, but have you ever surprised Brian with one of your racy jokes that he didn't know you were videoing it? I did a couple. I posted them on YouTube. They were where I was trying to set him up for dirty lines. Like one, I was like, my throat really hurts. And I'm like, he couldn't see the camera at all. There was another one just like that where I was trying to set him up for a joke and he didn't know the camera was going. I think as soon as he sees the camera, he is immediately blushing and turning red. So I was trying to like keep it hidden and he didn't know both times, which was hilarious. Good evening. It's afternoon here, but good evening wherever you are. I love your content. I'm a 77-year-old traditional area. I'm a 77-year-old Polish from New Jersey. Glad you're here. My family, we've got a lot of Polish in our family. A lot of Polish, a lot of Jewish. When he reads the pickup lines you write down, it's hysterical coming from it. It is because he is not. This is not the person that he is, especially on camera. I think as soon as the camera is out, he's just blushing and super uncomfortable. More videos of Brian reading the Dirty Puff. Absolutely, I will absolutely write pickup lines and have Brian read the worst. I think my favorite that I ever had him read was um, it was something to do with stud, and he brings the STD, and all he needs is you. Oh, I died. That was the best. Did you think about stand up or something? You guys are a fine observers, I suppose. I could work with that shark jokes. We have talked about it. The biggest issue is we've got three young kids. We got two in elementary school and one she's in pre-K right now. And my kids are at a time in their lives where I don't want to miss out at that time in their lives. I could see doing something like that when they're a little older and like don't care to spend time with me or us. So I'm thinking maybe when they start to hit preteen kind of years and they're like they don't like their parents at all, maybe that would be a good time to get, absence makes the heart grow fonder kind of thing. There are some places in Memphis that do, which is where we live outside Memphis, that do sort of like amateur nights, which we've talked about doing just to see kind of what we would do. Because I would want us to do it together, which is part of the thing. I've talked about doing stand up for just me, but I think part of the fun and what I would hate to miss out on is spending time with my husband. And I love that part of our content is that I get to spend time with this person that I think is really awesome, just as a person, not just as my partner. Always pulls down his Detroit Lions hat. Yep, that or his Under Armour hat or his Memphis Tigers hat. He always has the hats. I am not single. I am absolutely very happily married. Um, Married, 4 kids. Yeah. Like busy. Hello, I caught y'all live. It's just me today. My Brian is he's doing like a work meeting conference thing. And then I'm here with my 3 kids. They're all right now hanging out with me. The most shocking one for me that Brian wrote was about calling me Peggy. Um, but those are always my favorite because Brian hates those. Any kind of bottom backside kind of stuff that I could say to Brian, I immediately know he's going to say no, he's not going to like it, that kind of thing. You got some ideas too? Yeah, email them. You can email them to me. You can DM me on Instagram. I read all of the messages. I don't necessarily have the time to respond, but I read all of them. Are you and Brian planning to do another couples yoga pose again video? We could. Yeah, we definitely could. Brian has like the flexibility of, you know, I can't even, my children are right here, so I can't even say what he has the flexibility of, but he's not a flexible guy. He's a muscled guy, but not a flexible guy. Understand it's all good. Yeah, we're glad. If there's any other content that you would like to see from us, like feel free to DM me on Instagram or email me. Am I a dude? No, I'm a lady. Hi, Tara. Love your vids. Thank you. Yeah, if there's any content that you would want to see from us, like please just let us know. Any jokes or if you have any ideas for jokes. We get a lot of submissions of jokes, which are awesome. It just kind of helps me, think about themed videos or if I want to, sort of rewrite the jokes. The tendency, we get a lot of jokes that are just great, but the majority of pickup lines are made for men to say to women or men to say to other men. So often I have to rewrite them so they fit our gender, or if I want like sort of the punchline to land a little differently. Quick question: are you a life coach? I was a relationship coach. I actually was for several years and had a successful career. When our content that we're doing now took off, I had to stop taking on any new clients, and I still see less than a handful of my old clients because I don't have the time to do both. If you and your if you and your hubby could do a podcast, would you? Absolutely. We literally just talked about this the other day. It's funny. In I think October or November last year, we actually started a podcast together. It was about being an ADHD couple. Both Brian and I have ADHD. When I met him, he had ADHD. And then after we'd been married a few years, I found out that I myself had ADHD. And so we were doing a podcast with like tips for other couples where one or both people have ADHD. Because this content was then taking up so much time and Brian and I have such limited time together, we sunset the podcast. But we were just talking the other day about how we would love to do another podcast together and have it be a comedy podcast and have it be explicit content, like the content. You kind of have a little bit more freedom when you're doing your own podcast versus putting content out on platforms. So that would be, we would love to do that. The dream is that some kind of podcast network would just reach out to us, because having done a podcast before, I do not want to take on the energy of editing the audio, recording the video. I kind of just want someone to contact me and be like, hey, you guys are awesome. Like, do a podcast for us. We'll do everything else. That's what I would love, because I've got a lot on my plate already. How long have you been married? Brian and I have been married 5 years. Hey, you are from the Dirty Pickup Line shorts. Yep, that is me. I was hoping, heck yeah, like if SNL wants to contact me, I'm there. I will do that. I will briefly leave my children to go be on an episode of SNL, and I know Brian would feel the same way. What size feet do you rock? I'm a 7.5. That is my shoe size. Brian's are a 10 or 11 in dudes. Interesting question. But yeah, I've got great kids. But yeah, you've got me for a little bit longer, and then I'm going to spend the rest of the day hanging out with my kiddos. But it was good to come up here and hop on and do a little a vertical live. My therapist said time heals all wounds, so I stabbed him. Now we wait. SNL would be amazing. Yeah, it would be. It would be awesome. Um, I've been told a lot that my humor kind of reminds people of Audrey Plaza, which we both kind of have that like stoic deadpan face. Even writing for, yeah, absolutely. Definitely, I would love to do more writing. I love writing. I love writing the jokes. I love writing the setup. I never thought I would end up doing video content the way that I do because if y'all ever meet me in person, I'm a very affable, like kind, personable, like friendly person. Like I'll chat with you, but then I will need to go home and like refresh. Like being extroverted for long periods of time is just taxing on me. I'm very much an introvert. That's why I love the writing piece. It's just me by myself. I can just like do some writing, but video content, I've gotten used to it. But just, yeah. Today at the bank, an old lady asked me to help check her balance. So I pushed her over. Oh, yeah. Somebody asked for my shoe size. Um, you know, I've actually gotten requests for feet stuff. Um, y'all should do live Mad Libs. Oh my goodness. That was actually a video, that idea that we had. I found Um, I found some like Mad Libs and then like sort of rewrote them. So whatever you put in is going to come across as like dirty. We haven't ended up doing it, but that might be something that we film soon or even just like hang out. Can I ask how old you are? I'm curious what neurodivergence looked like back in the 80s. I know it wasn't recognized. If you don't want to answer, I am 42. Brian's 47. So we're both in our 40s. I always, I always kind of knew I had something like ADHD, um, because, but I would plan around it, which is why I thought it never was as bad as other people. Um, so I just knew it was going to take me longer to work on a paper. So I would have to like schedule it in breaks, and I could not do. You want me to come in? Okay, baby. Why don't you close the door real quick so no buggies get in, and then let me say goodbye. All right, my children have summoned me. Well, it was good to chat with y'all while I could. And if you have any ideas or questions or themes or anything like that you want us to go through, like feel free to DM me on Instagram or email me. Our email is tarabblairball@gmail.com. And it was great chatting with y'all. Bye, guys.